Winter is officially over, so I'm going to go over all the vanilla fragrances in my collection that got me through the winter. I'm going to put Xerzov Naxos as an honorable mention because although I have it and I wear it, I did not wear it that much this past winter. This is not a ranked list, by the way, but first up, we're going to be talking about Amora Cafe by the House of Mancera. This is a coffee overload. The coffee note is dark and slightly bitter, but it's drowned in a thick amaretto sweetness that almost smells like almond syrup. The vanilla here is heavy, sugary, and sticks to everything, and it turns this fragrance into a dense, almost edible cloud that will not leave for hours and hours and hours on end. It doesn't evolve much either. It just sits there projecting like crazy, which honestly makes it even more addictive. This may be a bit much for some people, but if you like vanilla and if you like coffee, then check out Mancera's Amora Cafe. Next up is Ingenious Ginger by Goldfield and Banks. This one kind of tricks you. At first, it's all bright ginger, citrus, and the sparkling freshness that feels clean and almost summery. But once you give it time, the creamy vanilla base starts pushing through, mixing with the ginger in a way that makes it feel warm without ever getting too heavy. Now, don't get me wrong, Ingenious Ginger is not a winter fragrance, but it can be worn all year round, and I think that a lot of people don't realize that. It may feel simple at first, but it really has a lot going on. Next up, we have Dark Vanilla by Montal, and this is what happens when you mix vanilla with a bunch of spices. It's smoky, woody, and slightly bitter, like actual vanilla pods that have been burned or dried out. There's still sweetness here, but it's restrained and sits behind the darker notes like the name would suggest. It's kind of dry, slightly dusty, and very shadowy, and it's definitely not something that's trying to be likable, which is exactly why it works. Next up, we have Ammoage's Silver Oud, and this barely qualifies as a vanilla, but that's what makes it so interesting. It opens up with this intense, almost harsh oud that smells animalic, slightly leathery, and honestly kind of challenging. But as it develops, there's a faint sweetness that creeps in, and that's where the vanilla sits. But it's buried so deep that it feels more like a distortion than a note. The vanilla note here is really just keeping that Indian Assam oud from being too funky and too strong in the fragrance. But Silver Oud is a proper oud and vanilla combination. Next up is Fertus's Vanilla Oud. This is the opposite of subtle. It's thick, resinous, and immediately hits you with this dark vanilla mixed into a heavy oud base. There's a very noticeable sweetness to this perfume, but it's dense and almost sticky, sitting on top of smoky woods and balsamic resins. While vanilla is used to soften some fragrances, the vanilla in here does not lighten anything. It adds weight, it adds boldness, and it adds aggressiveness to make everything stand out. This next one is a more of an amber and resin combination rather than pure vanilla, but this is Ammoage's Interlude 53. Immediately get hit with incense, smoke, oregano, and many resins. This perfume is constantly shifting, and somewhere underneath all of that is a subtle sweetness that keeps it from feeling completely harsh. This is where the vanilla sits, but you're not really smelling vanilla. It's more of a massive cloud of incense that's been slightly rounded off so it doesn't completely overwhelm you. Instead of having vanilla as a listed note, there's a deep, smoky, blue amber in this perfume that creates a chewy resinous and vanilla texture. You need to check this one out if you haven't already. Next up is Oud Venue by Mancera, and this one is a clash. You've got this dry, slightly medicinal oud mixed with a sweet vanilla that almost feels out of place at first. The contrast is what makes it so interesting though. The vanilla tries to smooth things out, but the woody, slightly sharp oud keeps pushing back. Over time it blends more, but it never fully settles into something soft. It stays a little bit rough and a little bit sharp, and the performance never ever goes away. Oud Venue is one that is never talked about, and it's so underrated. Now we have the classic Ani by Nishan Ani. Ani is widely regarded as the best vanilla perfume of all time. People aren't just saying that, it really does deserve that title. Ani opens up smelling like a lemon pound cake with sugary ginger, and that's quickly followed by Jamie Rose and a lot of pink pepper. Ani is very heavy and really dense, but it's balanced extremely well and never too much. It's sweet and spicy, creamy but still sharp, and everything about this is blended to perfection. If there's one vanilla perfume you should sample from this video, it should be Nishan Ani. And last but not least, we have Amaj Boundless, which is one that blew me away. Boundless opens with a sugary blood orange, slightly funky spices, and lots of ambery resins. It's sparkly, rich, creamy, and delicious. Boundless has a bit of a Dr. Pepper vanillic sparkle, and the resins create a deep and textured base. Boundless is sometimes compared to Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille, but Tobacco Vanille wishes it smelled this good. It's unfortunate to hear, but Boundless may be getting discontinued soon, so check it out right now while you still can. Thanks for watching, and let me know what vanilla fragrances you wore over this past winter.